We're rolling? We're rolling. Okay, hi guys. So, this is my first time talking on a camera. The last time I did this, it was journalism and it went way down south. So, I keep looking straight forward instead of straight here. So, if you notice that, just work with me. So, I noticed something that a lot of people don't seem to understand. I do a lot of makeup. My first 3 videos I did quiet friendly, and basically that means I stay quiet and I do my makeup. I did that so if you're out in public or somewhere and you wanted to do this makeup look, or you just don't want to hear talking, that's a video. So I wanted to do a tutorial because I noticed with a lot of makeup brands that they have their prices so high that people who can't afford it, they kind of miss out. And I wanted to do something different. Now, I by no means make a lot of money. I make more than minimum wage, but even sometimes it's tough. And so that's why I created a YouTube channel, is because I wanted a YouTube channel that was raw, unedited, straight to the point. And so I'm actually talking in this video. Sorry. If you're out in public somewhere and you wanted to do this. But a person, a YouTuber, a beauty guru named Jeffree Star came out with the Blue Blood palette. And I love that whole collection. Jeffree, if you're watching this, that whole collection is the best one he's ever come out with. In my opinion, obviously people have different opinions, but in my opinion, that is the best one. But I noticed that people, $52 for a palette. Like, my bank account's hurting. And so I wanted to create something that everyone can do. And I know that some people may not even have these products, and you can find something similar, I'm sure. Maybe. So I wanted to just do it, get it done, get it over with. And I think it's gonna be really good. I'm hoping. I'm gonna try to break it down as easy as possible, step by step. I have no audio or editing program, so this is all raw, this is me. You get to see this face for however long this video is gonna be, because even I don't know. So if you see me like looking that way, this is all my stuff, all my makeup, most of my makeup. And this side, if you see me looking down, my mirror is right here. I mean, it's a Danielle mirror. Like, I couldn't help but have it, but I will be looking here when I apply lashes, or depending on how the look is, I may not apply lashes. So yeah. So let me start off with primer. I should have set this up beforehand, but knowing me, I'm a noob. What do you want me to do? So I have the Too Faced Hangover primer. I will try to have my products down in the description box, which is where I've had my other ones, except for part 1. Okay. It's a long story. I'm still learning. So I'm just gonna apply that. Sounds gross. You don't have to add primer. I add primer because it makes me feel better, and I know it works for me. Now, primers, it may not work for you. It depends. To each their own. You know what you like, you know what you don't like. Now, I did tell my family not to knock on the door if they needed anything, because I am recording. But if they come in, it's family, you know. What do you want me to do? I have like 50 million foundations. I do have a little bit of a cold, I believe, coming back on me. So I do have Halls next to me. So if you see me popping candies, it's just Halls. So now I have the new Infallible foundation from L'Oreal in the shade 400. Because I'm like Casper the Friendly Ghost. And so on camera it shows up really light, but I will show you in natural light, which is what I've done at the end of my other videos, in natural light by a window, what it looks like. And I didn't, when I made the list for the other videos, I didn't add, like, what I use. I mean, this is a Real Techniques brush, but I don't add my tools that I use, or my brushes, or anything like that, because I know not everyone has it. And I have yet to find really good dupes, because some products I just can't use. My skin will not allow it. I get into big breakouts, and it's just not good. You know, I do have 4 lights on. I have both of my lamps on. I have a little ring light back behind the camera that I got from Five Below, and I have a little tripod hanging on the mirror. My Danielle mirror that's $70 something. And it's kind of just chilling there. And that's where I had it. And I am recording off my phone. I do not have a camera. Not one that records anyway. So I have to make do with what I have. I'm a positive person. And so, oh, this is a nice foundation. I don't have audio or anything, so. I know my intros are pretty, boring. I'm not a big YouTuber, and I don't really have a catchy saying. Okay, so for concealer, what I want to do is this. I have so many concealers. It's a nightmare trying to go through all of them. Like, all of them. So normally I put on 2 concealers because why not? And so for my first one, I'm going to do the Infallible Full Wear Concealer in the shade 320 Porcelain. Yep, that's about it. I mean, I'm trying to come up with things to say because it's kind of weird to, like, have that weird, awkward silence. Like, has anyone been in that? Anybody out there? I know I don't have a lot of views, but, you know, a lot of subscribers. I mean, right now I'm at 2 subscribers, so if you're one of those too, welcome. I'm also going to be doing some reviews, some raw, unedited reviews, as much as I can, because prices on makeup aren't expensive. It's just hard for me to keep up. And, you know, I really wanted to do this blue eye look, because Jeffree Star is such a cool person. I do support his brand. It's just, I don't do a lot of online shopping. I've just, you know, there's been a lot of stuff in the past, and I just don't. And I really wish one day if not soon, that Jeffree Star is like permanent line at Ulta. Like, that would be so amazing. And he would even get more people to go there. Like, to get more of his products sold, because a lot of people do online shopping. I just don't, you know. To me, there's just too much risk with it, like putting all my stuff out there. Like, I just don't do it. And I mean, I have every right not to do it. I'm a human being. I make decisions. So now I'm gonna go in with the Huda Beauty, the Overachiever Concealer in the shade Marshmallow, which I think is the lightest shade. I could be wrong. I think. So I'm just gonna use this. And this is pretty light. Oh, it smells so good though. Yeah, so there's not a lot for me to talk about. This is my YouTube channel. I have not been on it since 2016. I made this when I was a high schooler in journalism, and I thought I was gonna be a YouTuber. It didn't happen. But I really had the dream of being a YouTuber. And, you know, it's nice, you know. It's nice to come home after work and sit down and record a video on something I love. And I'm very passionate about makeup. A lot of people from my work really wanted to know how I do my makeup because I look like flawless, they say. I don't think so, but they say it, so it's not coming from me. You know, and times have been rough. And I said, you know what? You're just gonna do it. Just do it. And here I am. So, I know this is like only my 4th video. And a lot of people read my about and like who I am. I don't ask or beg for subscribers. I just feel that that's why I don't subscribe to channels, because you see people like, subscribe down below, like and comment, you know, and after a while you just get annoyed by it. As much as I would love to, you know, do all that and like, you know, have a lot of subscribers and stuff like that, I would, but the thing is like, it doesn't work for me. And that's just it. Like, there's nothing else you can say. I'm a human being. I'm gonna decide. By the way, I'm taking the Colourpop No-Filter Concealer in the shade 00 Fair. White, basically. And I'm just doing this so the blue show up much brighter than what they would. It makes everything better. I mean, I could always go back and fix my stuff, but once you get a face like mine, it is no turning back. Okay, so now I'm gonna take the Fenty Beauty powder in the shade Lavender, which is the really bright one that everyone talks about, that's really, really brightening. And I'm gonna make sure I don't have creases, Now, I have a smaller version, which is for my concealer, and then I have this one from Eco Tools. It's the dark green one that some people don't like. I like it for powder. Which is what I normally use. So now that you want to make sure that all the creases are out from underneath your eyes. Because if you have creases under your eyes, trust me, you will look old. Old. I learned that the hard way. You will look awful. So I just take the powder, dip it in, and then I tap off the excess because you don't need it. I know my accent's coming out. Excess. Don't come for me. So I'm just going to put this underneath my eyes. Just like so. And it smells so good. Oh my god, it smells like vanilla cupcake something. I don't know. Whatever it is, it smells good. So I've used this product ever since it came out. And it's so good for me. Like, I just noticed it made a huge difference with my makeup. Now, I know that obviously it's not going to happen. You know, so with some foundations, it's just not going to work. But this stuff, oh my god. Oh, I use this 99.9% of the time. I really love how Rihanna, if you don't know, Fenty Beauty is owned and functions under Rihanna. That's why it's called Fenty. I really love how she involved everyone of every skin tone. I really appreciate that. Even though I'm light skin, you know, like I'm Casper the Friendly Ghost. Like, hi, you know, I glow in the dark, you know. And so I really appreciate that. And that's something that people take for granted, is that in anything, just because somebody, how do I put this? I'm trying to put this in a sentence and do my makeup. It's not very easy. Oops, I spilled some powder. Just because you are a certain skin color, it doesn't give you any more rights to anybody else, if that makes sense. Like, yes, I am bright white, but I tend, and you know, the stereotypes, I'm not going to get into it because I'm not a person like that, but people don't understand that, yes, I am white, but I treat everybody with respect, because one day you may need that person. You may not think it now, but it's just a message all around. Like, every day I see violence. Every day I see all this stuff happen, and I look at myself and I'm like, why? You know, I know it's history and stuff, and I am a huge history fanatic, but I mean, there's no reason for it. If everybody got along, it would be a better world, but realistically, I know that it isn't going to happen. I forgot to mention, I'm taking the Maybelline Fit Me powder in 05 Fair. I use this for all over my face and pack it in. You know, and I know not a lot of people are gonna see this, but just keep in mind that there are humans in this world. And even though you may not agree with something, don't be violent about it. I admit that there are days where I'm a violent person, but only if the person is disrespectful to me first. If the person respects me, I respect them. It's golden rule. And that's something that people my age don't understand. So, I just want to get that out there. I know that's a somber note. So, I add a lot of powder because I do tend to get sweaty and oily and gross. Now, if you have drier skin, you do not need this much powder. Trust me, don't add this much powder. For people who have drier skin, I would take a brush like this one. This is from BH Cosmetics. This is the Marble Collection. Number 2 brush. And I forgot to get the creases of my nose. I just realized that. Hopefully that didn't show up on camera. If it did, oh well. So I would take a brush like this, or any brush that you can find like this, that you can afford. And take that powder, tap off the excess, and then dust it all over your face. So you still set your face without looking cakey. Or if that's too cakey for you and you don't want that much powder, use this one. This is the Marble Collection number 1 brush from BH Cosmetics. And I use this to dust off my stuff. If you've seen my prior videos, you know. If not, I will have them linked down below. There's only 3. By the time I'm making this video, there's only 3. So that is something I wanted to put out there. Like, just because this is for me doesn't mean it's gonna work for you, and whatever you use doesn't mean it's gonna work for me. And so I just wanted to put that out there. So this is a lot of powder, but this is for everyone, no matter what skin type you have. Take a translucent powder. So I am taking the Airspun Extra Full Coverage Loose Powder. This one. And I'm going to put this underneath my eyes loosely. So it catches any fallout, because we are going to be using shadows that do have fallout. If you know of any bright colors, blues, purples, oranges, even some neutrals, you will have fallout. I don't mind it, but some people do, so just as a fair warning, the palette we are using does have some fallout. So I will let you all decide for yourselves if you want to take the risk. Good luck to you. I do not. So now I'm going to take this palette. It's so beautiful. I could not help myself but to get this. It was too good for me. Love it. This is the BH Cosmetics Take Me Back to Brazil palette. This is this one. This one. Oh, there with the plastic. And it has all of these. As you can tell, it's very much loved, especially the red right here. So I'm not really sure how I want to do this, because I saw Jeffree Star's video on his reveal of Blue Blood. And I kind of want to take some colors that are similar to it. Not exact. I may be wrong. I haven't seen the palette in person. But I wanted to do something that's going to be cool, you know? Because not a lot of people can afford it. And this is an alternative, so the people who can't afford it aren't left out. So this is an all-around thing. So I'm going to take this brush. It's from Anastasia's Beverly Hills. This is from one of their palettes that I will be reviewing shortly after this video. I'll be making the video. And I'm going to start with this bright blue white there. There's no names on it, which I'm kind of shady about. I love eyeshadows with names on it, but I'm going to take that bright blue. And I'm going to try to zoom you all in. Normally this doesn't work, so I'm going to try my best. Okay, maybe not. I'll just do stop breaks and let you look. So I'm going to take the fluffy end, because see, they get two sides. I'm going to take this fluffy end, brush off all the powder on me, and I'm going to take that bright blue shade, pack it on the brush. Now, you don't need a lot. Like, I don't know if you can tell. Focus. Okay, well, won't focus. But you can tell how much pigment you get on that, hopefully. And so I'm going to take this. I'm going to need a mirror. There's one on the palette. Yep. So I'm going to take that, and I'm going to put it in my crease. And this is because I put powder over top. It's not going to come out as pigmented, which is fine because it's best to work in layers than to try to do it all in one. And so, I mean, these things you don't really need a lot. When this palette first came out, I was going to do a review on it, but everybody else was doing it, and I want to be that person that just does the craziest looks, which I have done crazy looks before. And I was going to do St. Patrick's Day, but greens are so hard to do because they don't always look good. And I wanted to make an eyeshadow or a look that fit everyone, no matter what the skin tone is, because on some people, green just doesn't look good with their skin tone. It's just the type of color that's really tricky to work with, even though it is my favorite color, as you can tell by my room. So I really wanted to test out some stuff and do it, but I just ran out of time because I do work my other job. And so it's very hard. So, okay. So I have this so far in the crease. And what I'm going to do, just really lightly, I'm kind of cheating, it's not completely all. But I'm going to take this white shadow from Ulta Beauty. That's my favorite place to shop. Ulta Beauty in the shade Pure as Snow. And I'm going to take a fluffier brush. This is the... what number is it? This is the number 7 brush from the Marble collection from BH Cosmetics. I'm going to take this. Boop, boop, boop. And put it just below my brow to blend out that light blue. And what that's going to do is that just gives you a blend. If you don't have a white eyeshadow, you can also use just a regular brush with no product on it and blend it out. I just happen to use shadow. I like the look of the shadow look better than just the blended out part. Okay. I have two, I have 2 little of the 3 drawers that kids get. I have 2 of them balancing on top of the Chief Executive clear box from Ulta, so it's a little iffy. Okay. So I'm gonna go in with the same fluffy part of the brush, and I'm gonna go in with this dark blue right here. I'm brave. Don't try this at home. I'm brave. If you don't feel comfortable going straight in with a dark blue, you can always use a medium blue. some people just do that on their own. They go in with the medium blue and then they do the dark blue. I am at a loss for words. Usually I'm really good at talking. You know, like, have you ever been in a situation where you just talk to yourself? Like, you're just really bored, and you're so bored you start talking to yourself and trying to get things figured out. I'm that person. So I'm going back in with that light blue, and I'm gonna blend the two together. If you can see that. In the light, once we get to the natural light, you'll see, because in here it's a little dark. So, and as I was saying, you can see the fallout right here. That's why you put extra powder. Always put extra powder. Always be safe, kids. So I have this so far. And it's such a pretty palette. I love that palette. But I have an even cheaper one. Now this one I haven't seen in a while. This is the Beauty Treats palette. It's a dupe for the Fizzy Art palettes. And this was $2 at Five Below. If they still have it. I haven't seen it in a while. I'm hoping they still have it because this stuff was so good. And I'm going to take that blue that has a giant hole in it. And I'm going to use this end of the brush now. And you can tell, like, these are super, like, pigmented. These might be more pigmented than Fizzy Art ones. And I'm going to go on this outer edge, right on the outer part of the eyelid, and blend. And I'm going to bring it in. You don't need a lot. That's just to give more definition. So you don't have, like, that weird, like, cut off kind of look. Ooh, I forgot how pigmented these were. I mean, you really don't need a lot, as you can tell. Like, that was just from the tiniest little tap in. And so we add a little bit more. So I'm going to go back in with that darker blue from the BH palette. And I'm going to blend that blue into that darker blue from the palette. And then I'm going to be going back in with the lighter blue. This is a lot of blending. I'm going back in the very first shade we used in the palette. I'm going to blend that. And then grab that white shade again from Ulta Beauty. That you can tell, like, you see that fallout? This is, yeah. And I'm going to blend. It's kind of, when you blend this out, you're kind of blending it in part of your eyebrow. Depending on how far you bring it up, I bring mine up a lot higher because I have not hooded eyes, but if I look forward at you, you can tell that you can't really see a lot of lid space. And so that's why I always bring it higher, so when I cut my crease, it looks decent. Okay, how do I want to do this? I'm debating on whether I want to cut the crease or not. You know what? I'm not going to cut the crease because not everyone knows how to cut a crease. So I'm going to reach in with the BH Cosmetics Take Me Back to Brazil Rio Edition. It's basically the same palette except this one's shimmer. I love the shimmer. And she is well loved too. You see that blue? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you best believe it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that sky blue, this blue that we used right here, the one that has a huge dent in it, and I'm gonna put that on my eyes. Now people are like, you're supposed to wet your eyes first. You don't have to. You don't have to wet your eyes. Now normally I would try to use a brush, but then that would take the fun out of playing with makeup with your finger. Like, ta-da! Like, how cool is that? I don't know, I guess people have a problem because it's a sanitary thing, but I love it. I love it. And so what I do to bring out the shimmer and the eyeshadow is I put a layer down. Then I take 6 Plus or whatever I have nearby. I spray my finger with that. Did I get it? There we go. I tap off some of the excess that may be on there. I dip my finger back into that color, and now you see it's a little brighter. Kind of have to hold my eyes like this because, fun fact, I can only wink with one eye. I can't wink with my other eye. Does anybody else have that? Please tell me. I want to know. I feel like I'm the only person on earth that can not wink with both eyes. I can do this, like, really quick. But I kind of have to go like this. It's weird. I'm a weird person. Okay. Alright, good. That's out of the way. Okay. So we put that shimmer palette away. I can put the little cover back on it. I do keep my covers. I'm just a very organized person. And now we gotta deal with the fallout. Now to do this, you take a brush, like this, or whatever you feel comfortable using, and you flick it away. Really quick, because if you drag it out, it's gonna drag. Whew. Oh, I got lucky. And now, take a bigger brush, like this one, and brush off the rest of the powder. I let it sit so it stays put. I'm looking at the clock if you see me looking there. I am Casper the Friendly Ghost. That is accurate. Okay. What brush do I want to use? Okay. I'm going to use this one. This is from Click. Whatever that is. I got this from Five Below. It was in a kit. So I have no idea. Oh, it says the name on there. I haven't had enough caffeine today. Forgive me. So now, I'm gonna take this blue, this cobalt blue over here, and I'm gonna do underneath my eyes. You don't have to do this. I tend to do this because it fits my shape better. So I'm gonna take it, tap some of the excess off, and put it right underneath my waterline. I'll show you what I mean. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna go back in with this dark blue that we used. I feel like some shades in here are hit or miss. And for this look, because it is inspired by Jeffree Star's Blue Blood palette, I do want to make this worth it. I do want to, because he is such a top-notch dude. Like, I mean, his standards, like, here's some makeup brands, his brand is like way up here. And I want to make sure that if I'm going to do an inspired look from that palette, not to take business away from it. If you want that palette, if you can afford that palette, definitely go out and get it. The reason why I make this is for people who cannot afford it. But they still want to be included in that blue blood fan base. So this is strictly for them. So I took that dark blue and I put it underneath my eyes. Now, if you want to blend it out, one way you can do it is you can use a brush. I use my ring finger. I go right underneath and I just run my finger across it. And what that does, I have to use a pinky on the side. And what this does is it blends it out, but it still gives you that sharp kind of look. This is gonna be a long video. I'm looking at it right now and I'm like, oh boy. So we don't need that palette anymore. So we're gonna put the sleeve back on it right there. Boom. We are almost done. If you want to stop here, you can stop here. And put on your mascara and go out the door and put on the rest of your stuff. Now, for me, I do my full face, so we're gonna go for it. So I'm gonna take, this is from Rimmel, I believe, or L'Oreal, one of them. This one. And I'm gonna curl my lashes. Put it right next to your eyelashes, up by your eyelid, and push. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Okay. And I'm gonna take this Bad Gal Bang from Benefit. This has been one of my favorite mascaras to use because it just, my lashes look so volumized and so perfect when I use this. I don't usually use it if I'm wearing lashes. I usually use this if I don't want to wear lashes. It just brings out my natural, I have naturally long lashes anyway. I know I'm fortunate to have that, but I do also wear fake lashes occasionally. Because some eye looks just look better with it. So you see? I gotta look cute some days, okay? I'm trying. So, for my brows, I'm gonna take this brow definer from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This has been one of my favorite. Benefit and Anastasia Beverly Hills are usually what I use. I used to use eyeshadow and put it in my brows. And I still do it sometimes to this day. I don't do that anymore. But it worked. You know, I couldn't afford this stuff. I'm not really supposed to be able to afford this stuff. But I do it anyway because it's makeup and I love makeup. Okay, so I'm going to take this and do my brows. You don't have to use what I use. You use whatever you're comfortable with, whatever you can afford. A good one that I can think of is the NYX pencil. Forgot what it's called. But that has been a really good one. There's also one from Joa. It's a drugstore brand. If any of you watch Sabrina, who is on YouTube, she did a review on the Joa brow pencil. And when I saw it on her camera, it was beautiful. I've never used it. I just tend to, for Anastasia, Beverly Hills, or Benefit. But if you are on a budget and you want to do your brows, that would be it. The next one's not bad either. But, okay. Alright, almost done. I know this is a long video, but I do tend to talk a lot. Usually when I don't talk, it goes by quicker. And for blush, because it's blush time, I'm going to use the Pro Artist blush palette from Style Essentials. It's this 10 blush palette. It's only $5. And I'm going to take this baby pink right here. And as you can tell, you don't need a lot. I tend to put a lot of blush on because I am fair. And when I do put on my bronzer, it does kind of cover up a lot of it. Not a lot of it, but it does tend to tone it down. If I have to tone it down, I'll take any kind of powder that I have on hand that I use, like a face foundation, a powder foundation, and I put that over top to tone it down. So for my bronzer, I'm going to use the Butter Bronzer, the light bronzer from Physician's Formula. This stuff smells so good. Oh, God. I'm going to take that. Woo! Well, I dropped it and caught it. And everyone likes the other one, the other bronzer that they have. It's this one, but I think it's a darker or cooler tone one. I've seen it. I'm kind of scared to use it because it looks so dark. That's why I tend to go for this one, and because I'm so fair, like this to me, this on me looks orange, but I would rather look orange. That's just me. And so I just chisel out along my cheekbones. I usually put the blush just in like the center of my cheekbones, kind of. Like here's my cheekbones, it's just like blush goes here, bronzer goes a little bit below that. So I turn my face to the side and then just boop. And that's it. Okay, so for highlighter, I have a few options. One I am definitely using. I have to get it out without making all this stuff fall. Great, it's stuck in there. Here we go. Okay. This is the Ofra highlighter. Looks like this. It's the NYX Tutorials collab. It's called Space Baby. Now this has a bluish tint to it, and it's amazing. And it works perfect with this. So first off, I'm going to take it with my pinky. To like, hello. And I think you can kind of see the bluish tint. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this right in my inner corner. Just like so. And what that does is it adds a little bit of to your face. I add a lot, So you don't have to add this much. I just tend to add a lot. So I'm going to take this. This is what it looks like. Ooh, you can kind of see the blue. There it is. That's cool. I'm going to take it, put it on the brush, pack it on, and boom. I am putting like a whole lot on there. Like, you do not need this much. I like to highlight a lot. A lot. I've tried to be like more of a matte, like no highlighter person. That did not work. I'm gonna just add this on my face. If you all have seen Jeffree's video about his blue blood palette, it is very pretty. That mint shade called Minty. I'm a huge fan of greens, like mint green, any shade of green. And the mint shade was so pretty. And I want it, but right now things are tough and I can't get it. Which is okay. You know, it is what it is. You just move on. And do what you gotta do. If you can't afford something, you save up for it. Plain and simple. Okay. So that blue is really like, the highlight is really like faded. Not faded. It's like a glitter topper type of thing, which I like, but I need a little bit more pizzazz. So I'm going to take another over highlighter. This is another collab. This is Glazed Donut. This is the really bright one. Almost gone. I got another one. I'm going to pack that on. Put this over top. There we go. Put that there. Just enough to brighten it up, but not cover up that blue shift. And if you feel like you're losing the blue, you can always go back over top of it. I mean, there's never enough highlight. So I'm going back over with the blue because I really want that blue to be prominent. I just tapped off my brush. I usually tap off my brushes. It's just out of habit. Except for eyeshadow, I don't. And I have a eyeliner. Now, if you don't want to use eyeliner in your waterline, you don't have to. But this is the NYX Professional Make On, Slide On, Glide On, Stay On, Indefinitely a Turn On Waterproof Extreme Shine Eyeliner. It's a long name for a product, you know. You don't need a long name. Just eyeliner. So I'm going to take the sponge that I used for my powder. I'm going to put it right under, and I'm going to bring this down and put this in my waterline, like so. That's good. These are a really good dupe for the Urban Decay 24-hour, what is it called? Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencils. These are really good dupes. I do like to use my Urban Decay ones occasionally, but not always. So now that we're done with that, to set my face, I'm going to use the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. Just because it's the closest thing to me. I have like 8 setting sprays. Okay, so give me just a sec. Okay, and then just to put over top, I'm going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dewy Set spray, setting spray that they came out with recently. I'm going to use that. Now, let me take you by the window and show you what this looks like in natural light now. I know, the sun's out today. Look how pretty it is. I know there's setting spray dripping off of me, but that's the highlight. And the eyes. This is a lot of highlight. And then if I stand back, you can see it a little more. Pretty intense. No. I'm gonna leave that open. Bring you guys back. And for lips, because I forgot to do lips, in memoriam, not in memoriam, but in, what am I saying, just for Jeffree, I'm going to take his lipstick in the shade You're Still on the Property, which was from his holiday collection. I believe it's still out. I'm going to take that and put that on my lips. I'm kind of tempted to use his lip scrub, but for this video, I won't. In my other videos, I do. I normally don't have to dip in twice. But I really want the blue too. Stand up. If you don't want to do blue, you can use a nude. I just like having a lipstick color that goes with my eye look. Okay, so back to the window we go. And so, now my lipstick isn't dried down yet, but this is what it looks like. I don't have music like other people do, but that would be really cool. Alright, so I will try to have an upload schedule soon. If not, it'll probably be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, depending. My internet is very slow. So whenever I get that up, I will leave it in the description box always. And so I hope you guys have an amazing day. And thank you for staying with me this long because it's heading an hour. Right, and have a good day.